Thanks very much. I'm Justin Benson, CEO of Spreedly, and I'm actually from Australia, but via Durham. So we're here to talk about online payments, and in particular at Spreedly, we want to be the last payments API that you'll ever need. Now, when you think about fast-growing commerce services, one of the key tenets to being successful is having a superior consumer experience. And one of the key tenets of that experience, superior consumer experience, is having frictionless payments. And that's an area we're focused on. Now, thinking about online payments, in particular for these fast-growing commerce companies, they tend to fall into one or two buckets. The first group can back up to one provider and one provider only. That might be a Stripe or an Adyen or a PayPal in the Braintree. But there's another group out there, a second group, and for that group, life is a lot more difficult, and they're much bigger than most people think, and that's where we focus. Now, for that second group, they're driving rapid growth, often through entering new markets, doing mergers and acquisitions, rolling out new services, or even change in their own existing service. And what they find is when they're trying to do this innovation and grow quickly, they run into a siloed set of payment infrastructure providers. Payment companies that are set up to compete and aren't interested in helping them work across payment silos. So that's the problem we saw. That's the companies that we focus on. Our goal is to inject flexibility into the payment infrastructure and help those type of companies. We too are growing quickly. We're about 5 years old. We're based in Durham, North Carolina. Last year we did about 90 million credit card transactions, up from 30 million the year before. So let's get into some of the specifics.
That's great, thanks Justin. So let's take a look at that innovation in practice. One of our customers, Supreme Golf, is the world's largest aggregator of golf tee times. They focus in part on providing a great customer experience for golfers that want to find and purchase available tee times at their favorite courses. In fact, they have 12 to 15 million tee times available at over 13,000 courses around the world. And in fact, with those 13,000 courses, they didn't actually start that way. In fact, they began as basically a search engine for golfers to search and find local courses. But their growth drove innovation. The innovation of aggregating individual courses and diverse networks of courses means that golfers always know that by using the Supreme Golf application, they're able to find they're able to access the world's largest collection of available tee times. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Supreme Golf application and see that in practice. So from here, I'll enter in my location and preferred date, and immediately I can see the breadth of options that are available to me. Now, in order to provide a great customer experience, Supreme Golf has to allow me to make a purchase of that tee time directly here on the site. The idea of redirecting me away to an individual course's site to make that purchase, or in an individual course to make that purchase, would disrupt the flow and completely compromise the customer experience. But instead, from right here, I can make seamlessly that single purchase directly on the Supreme Golf website. Now, that's much more complicated than it might seem. Each of Supreme Golf's individual courses, all 13,000 of those courses, they have their own individual payment processing systems. And the idea of connecting into those 13,000 courses payment processors or those aggregators payment processors would be incredibly complex, and it would forever mire Supreme Golf in an ever-escalating development trap. So instead, what Supreme Golf did was they built their application on Spreedly's payment infrastructure. So with a single API connection, they're able to connect into virtually any payment gateway, virtually any payment endpoint. And the result is they're able to offer this breadth of experience, 12 to 15 million tee times, and the ability to purchase them directly from their own website. And that's courtesy of that single connection that Spreedly provides.
What I'm really proud of in terms of Spreedly and Supreme Golf is that they were able to change their business model over time. In the beginning, they began simply as meta search, then they moved into a B2C model, and then they moved into a B2B model. And by putting Spreedly in early, they kind of future-proofed their payments. They were able to accept B2C payments and move into a B2B model without having to change out their payment infrastructure. Companies like Televisa, Eventbrite, Cabify, SeatGeek, and hundreds of other Spreedly customers are utilizing us to inject flexibility into what is otherwise a very brittle payment landscape for them. And it's some combination of entering new markets or bringing on new partnerships or doing mergers and acquisitions. All those things mean for them that trying to work with a single provider just breaks and is inapplicable.
Finally, let's have a live look at our production demo from the customer's point of view. So as you've heard, Spreedly helps by connecting commerce innovators with virtually any payment gateway and virtually any partner's payment systems. We do that with a payments infrastructure that requires just a single connection into the Spreedly platform. So vaulted card data is tokenized and can be used to transact with virtually any payment endpoint. In terms of our customers' development teams, they get the tooling they need to build payments-backed purchase experiences once, escaping the steep learning curve and the overhead of managing multiple integrations. In short, merchants get more business flexibility to focus on providing a great customer experience. The opportunities for innovation are basically endless. With Spreedly, payments can be executed through more than payment gateways. Customers can connect directly to a partner's payment endpoints. So imagine the power of connecting and transacting directly with the likes of Expedia, Ticketmaster, Hertz Rental Car, 1-800-Flowers, and hundreds more.
Thanks, Daniel. So to summarize, as we said at the outset, rapidly growing commerce companies really are successful by optimizing the consumer experience, and getting payments right is critical for that. So if you're here today and you're maybe already working with a single provider and starting to feel some of this pain, we'd love to talk with you. Or if you're interested in future-proofing your payments infrastructure out of the gate, come see us at our booth. Thanks very much, everybody.